I saw this game for the first time quite a few years ago at my local supermarket for $17. I'm attracted to these obscure, odd, generic-looking titles, and the price was right, so I looked at the back. Giant alien ants, spiders, and robots invading Earth? Looks like fun. Oh boy, I never knew how much fun. I grew addicted to this game. It was developed by Sandlot, published by D3, and released on Xbox 360 December 14th, 2006. With a slow but steady armor upgrade system and increasingly stronger weapons for you to randomly pick up, the natural flow of progression is addicting and satisfying, making you want to tackle all 53 stages on all 5 difficulties. The increasing difficulties that not only change how much damage you take, how much damage the enemy can take, but also the speed of the enemy and ferocity of their attacks. Additional strategy is needed before entering each stage, as you're only allowed to choose 2 weapons to take with you. Is there a stage where you need to take down hovering spacecraft? You'll need a ranged weapon. Swarms of bugs on the ground? Grab a rapid fire. Perhaps an explosive. The stage doesn't end until all enemies have been cleared. I found on numerous occasions the correct complementing pair of weapons was essential for tackling harder difficulties if you don't have enough armor. There are 150 plus weapons to collect and use, ranging from rifles, shotguns, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, sniper rifles, hand grenades, and even some alien tech. I remember seeing Jeff Keighley reviewing this game with Victor Lucas on Reviews on the Run. Jeff mentioned that there are a bunch of different types of weapons and different models for each weapon type, but they all do the same thing. I thought that was a very unfair thing to say. Sure, there are similar weapons, but they each have their own capacity, rate of fire per second, damage, reload time, range, and accuracy. You can actually see every individual bullet, so as far as I can tell, all the numbers are accurate. And explosives have different blast areas. The only difference between something like this and, say, Borderlands is that the hit damage doesn't show when you strike an enemy. Even when you get a slightly upgraded version of a previous weapon, you can feel the difference, and may be the key to helping you finish one of the harder stages. So that was a bad take on Jeff Keighley's part. I'm curious though, let's test it. Here we have the Buffalo G1 shotgun, 19 points of damage, times 10, so 10 pellets fired per shot.
This is Storm 2, roger that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's try it again. The Buffalo G3, 40 points of damage times 15 shotgun pellets.
All troops, take your positions. This is Ranger 4. We've spotted a large alien here. Ranger 4, what kind of life form? A very huge bug! It's coming this way!
What was Jeff Keighley talking about? The numbers are accurate. He was talking about it without even knowing about it. Like I said, a bad take on his part. The visuals are surprisingly good. Most of the textures are really crisp and clean. The environments show lots of little details, and the sense of scale is excellent. The little quips your teammates say to each other are pretty funny, and sometimes nonsensical, when they ask questions and answer back. And sometimes they'll chant or sing motivational songs to keep morale up. Speaking of your team, they aren't just there for show either. They may be NPCs, but they're actually helpful during a fight. That also includes drawing enemy fire away from you. Also, approach soldiers with an arrow above them, and they'll join you. The music is well done and appropriate. The cinematic, bombastic, heroic score is similar to something you might hear in Star Fox. There are only 3 issues I have with this game. Increasing your armor may take too long for some players. It's an even worse problem in the following game, E.D.F 2025. Second, with so many stages, repetition is bound to happen, but you can see the effort being made to mix up the different enemy types to help remedy that problem. And third is the frame rate. The robots fire explosives, and the ants spray acid, and when you're playing the harder difficulties, they just don't let up, and these effects cause the frame rate to crawl. Only in certain levels, mind you. Some are worse than others. But when it happens, the frame rate gets bad. And I'm talking bad. Like 1 frame per second bad. Wondering if your Xbox 360 just crashed bad. It is absolutely unplayable until the enemy decides to pause for a moment. But overall, Earth Defense Force 2017 is still loads of fun, giving me more than what I paid for it in enjoyment many times over. Presented like a classic cheesy B-horror invasion movie with a great balance of challenge that's satisfying to get through. 8 out of 10.
Hey, welcome back. We've got another giant robot mechanization, lots of destruction type game. It's Earth Defense Force. Is it Earth Defense Forces?
Earth Defense Force 2017.
Earth Defense Force 2017.
Exactly.
I love that year. It's
E.D.F. It's lots of crazy action in this. This is sort of like, to me, it's kind of like Starship Troopers meets like Lost Planet. I mean, it's got, you know, third-person action game. It's all about destruction.
It's very
wanton destruction.
It's very much an arcade game too. I mean, I honestly, I felt like I was playing an Xbox Live arcade game, and that's where I think this game should have been sold.
It's only $40.
Well, there you go.
It's cheaper.
It's a little bit cheaper.
You know, they realize that it's not a lot of depth to it. I think there's something to be said for not trying to add a lot of artifice around it. It's just straight action.
Just blast everything that you can.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's a little mindless in that way. It's like 150 weapons, and so they all sort of do the same thing. They just, you know, blow stuff up, but there's pretty good destruction of the environment.
There's so much stuff.
Blow up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the buildings fall, the people are the bugs, a lot of bugs, and you just blow the crap out of them. And then I actually was getting kind of, my mind was getting numbed by all of that. It was just like, oh my god, I can't shoot one more of these giant ants. And then the robots came, and I was like, oh, okay, well now it's getting
more
cool.
to destroy.
I like the Iron Giant-esque.
No, that's the thing is, I mean, it's sort of, it's over the top, it's fun. Then they add in the vehicle stuff. I mean, the vehicles don't control very well. I mean, I found that the helicopter doesn't really work that well. So I was kind of disappointed with that.
You got them. They threw them in. It's like a grab bag of every type of
tanks,
action.
Helicopters. I mean, it's just, you know, total, you know, balls to the wall action. I think it does that well, and it's cheaper. So this is not a game I think, you know, is going to inspire a lot of other people. But I like that it's very pure. It knows what it is.
A little split screen action as well, which we're not seeing too much of in multiplayer anymore. Everybody's just throwing in the single player screen and expecting people to go on live. Now this doesn't have online multiplayer, which is kind of a disappointing deal.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like some games, you know, every game doesn't need to have multiplayer, and I love that they're charging less for it. As opposed to saying, oh, we're going to have multiplayer and then we're going to charge $60 for this.
True,
it's like,
and
know
give you
what
all kinds
you are.
of micro transactions
it's
levels
crap.
that should be
It's like, I love
anyways.
that people are experimenting with, you know, cheaper games that are simpler. And as you said, I mean, you know, maybe it should have been $20 instead of 40.
And I actually kind of dug the sense of humor around it all as well. I mean, it didn't take itself seriously. It plays like a Godzilla type movie almost, you know?
They're invading, they're coming.
Yeah, lots of voices. They keep yelling the same things over and over again. You get it over the newscast.
That's part of the fun of it.
I agree. I mean, it's so over the top and stupid that it gets funny after a while.
I can't believe my eyes. A huge spaceship is floating above the city. It looks like something out of a science fiction movie.
Exactly. So I think this is a game, that's forgettable, but it's like if you're looking for something to play for a weekend, I think people actually might kind of have fun with this. It was surprising. I mean, this is not a game
you were going to hate this
very
thing.
well known. No.
Yeah, I agree. I actually enjoyed the game. I thought it was quite satisfying in its cheesiness.
So what are you going to give this one?
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 as well. On the positive side, this game has a lot of balls-to-the-wall action. There's co-op play, something we don't see a lot in games these days. I love that this game is very focused. It knows what it is. It's all about action and destruction. And visually, the game actually looks pretty good, and I love the sense of destruction in the environment.
On the negative side, the voiceovers might start to get a bit irritating for you. The vehicles are difficult to control. And I don't know, did you find there was like one too many ants in this sucker or what?